Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armored Warfare. I'm playing some of the PvE mode today because I don't think I've actually shown any of it off. I mean, most of you, if you've played Armored Warfare, will know what this is about. So, it's a 5-man team, so you and 4 other players, as you can see at the top left, versus a bunch of AI. And I'm playing on the hard difficulty, and you have to have a tier 5 vehicle to do hard difficulty mode. And to be honest, if you do reasonably well, you can get quite the good amount of credits and experience, especially with a premium account. However, it's nothing compared to that if you did really well in the normal PvP game modes. But anyway, I'm in the Chieftain, it's the Mk5, and it's a bit of a mix in terms of what I like and what I don't like about it. I like the fact it has a 120mm gun that does substantial damage if you have suitable targets to shoot at. I say suitable, and I'll explain that in a moment. The turret armor, when you upgrade it with the applique, is good, except underneath the gun mantle. There's a little bit where the applique doesn't cover near the what's it called, the turret ring. But anyway, the gun, as you can see there, does around 350 damage a shot, which is pretty nice, especially when you're hitting all these key modules. However, as you can see, overmatches, overpens all the time when you're fighting AFVs. And also, the armor on the whole is not brilliant. It's big and rather immobile. I've also played an M60A3, and that's much more mobile in comparison to this in terms of its traverse of both the turret and the track. So it just feels like it. It may not be on paper, but anyway, it does feel like it as such. The way you unlock the Chieftain Mk5 is basically bounce a lot of damage, and then you basically unlock it. I think it's in Shishkin's format, and I don't know what critical hit I did there. Was it that, the viewfinder, the view ranger? I've not seen that symbol before, but anyway, even though the gun is a 120mm, it has around 300 pen, and you can get that on the other guns at the same tier, really. Especially when they're all fully upgraded. For instance, the T72A and the T72 Ural both have a 125mm gun, which is, you know, 5mm bigger than this one on the Chieftain. But that has a very, very, well, crippling round if you get penetrated in PvP. The thing with the Chieftain is it's rated 5. Fires a shot every 6.6 seconds, which is faster than, I think, all of the MBTs at tier 5. Although you can obviously get improvements to firepower, rate of fire, you can get crew skills, you can get the protein bars or the drinks or whatever, you know, the equivalent of premium food consumables in World of Tanks. But anyway, as you can see, we've done a reasonable amount of good work, although we have taken substantial damage. Oh, that is another thing, this vehicle does get a lot of hit points. And maybe it's a compensating factor for the fact that the armor isn't brilliant. Its side profile also is very big and weak, very flat indeed. Just taking out one of those secondary black market shipments, as you see at the top right there. It says secondary objectives, and that's something you need to be aware of and take over or deal with, because you do get a bonus to your experience coefficient and your credits coefficient. But yeah, the Chieftain, it's okay. There's one other thing that I forgot to mention. The way the turret is shaped, there's a viewfinder on the, well, if you're playing the Chieftain it's on the right hand side, but if you're shooting at it it's on the left hand side, and it makes the armor profile a bit flatter, and you can actually penetrate it there quite reliably if you are a decent shot. So yeah, not really that bad a machine. I do like the good aim time, the good fire rate. But I did watch a video by Fiora, and she also commented on the fact that this doesn't have a heat round. And that is something which you will notice a lot on the PvP side of things. That's a nice 426 there into the Bradley, which I'm surprised it didn't just overpen. It's probably because I'm shooting down like that. But anyhow, yeah, the lack of a heat round means you can't do those really high damaging rolls to AFVs. You just have to deal with your APDS or your AP similarly in order to just hit and overpen all the time. But then again, you do have a good rate of fire, and I did just ram Geo Warrior there in his Chieftain. But there is one thing about these game modes that I wouldn't mind being a little bit different, is this bit at the end. We've cleared out all of the enemies, but now we just sit here and we just wait for 30 seconds or whatever. I mean, it's not an amazing end to a game. It's not a bad way to a game either, but it can be a tiny little bit boring. So yeah, that was one of the missions on the PvE side of things. I generally quite like it. The AI can be a little bit stupid, but as you saw it towards the beginning of the game, if you make a few mistakes, the artillery will just ruin you, as well as all of the other vehicles in the match. But yeah, there's obviously more than just one mission. There's several environments. There's the port map, there's that map I was just on, there's some jungle-like environments, and other things too. But as you can see, 4,500 damage done. Lots of credits, lots of experience. I know I know I have a premium account. But still, not a bad game for the Chieftain on the PvE. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to give it a like down below. And as always, I've been Geogen, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.